Swadika, good evening and welcome to Thai PBS World Tonight. You are now with me, Natha Gomonwatin from the studio, and Kun Thep Chayong is now reporting live, joining me from home as we are trying to comply with the support of social distancing and working from home in the fight to contain spread of coronavirus, which is now worsening in many countries around the world. And today, Thailand is under state of emergency after Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha imposed the order of emergency decree. And today, the order has been implemented, in which checkpoints has been set up around the world of 357. And also the news about the new infection cases in Thailand has been rising for 111 new cases in Thailand today. It means the total number of infection is beyond 1,000 already. And the case of worried is about the related case of infection from boxing stadium, in which the figure is about 160 cases of infection related to the boxing stadium. And what you have seen today is the press conference by Commander of the Royal Thai Armed Forces, General Pornpipat Benyasi. Today he issued a stern warning to all Thai people to stay home and to practice strict social distancing to avoid exposing themselves to the coronavirus or risk facing a full lockdown of the country. And right now, Kun Thep Chayong is ready and joining me from home. Swadika, Kun Thep Chai.
Good evening, Kunatha, and good evening, everyone.
Yes, it's been your third day of working from home, of trying to keep social distancing. So far, have you been quite successful?
For me, it's okay, it's all right thing, but that's exactly what the authorities want the rest of the Thai people to start doing from this week on. As Kunatha just mentioned, that today is the first day that the emergency decree takes effect. And many people must be saying that I don't see the difference. Of course, we have not seen yet the full force of the emergency decree, but we know that a lot of stringent measures are being worked out and will be announced in a couple of days now. But as Kunatha just mentioned, I think the biggest difference that we can see for the time being is the presence of over 350 checkpoints on major street roads around the country, including some areas in Bangkok. Since last night, these and today 5 more checkpoints will be set up in Bangkok, and more will be set up in other provinces. The idea is to discourage people from travel. And as the commander of the Royal Thai Armed Forces, General Pornpipat Benyasi, said today that there's no choice, but Thai people need to comply with the stay-at-home directive. Otherwise, Thailand will not be able to make it through this month without seeing a much larger number of infection cases.
Yes. In the press conference, he seems trying to focus on government agency and business establishment to introduce shifting work schedule or cut down on working hours to minimize the number of personnel and employees having to commute to work. He said quite frankly that I am also appealing to you to start introducing work from home practice. He sounds quite serious, Kun Thep Chai.
Yes, General Pornpipat is the point man as far as the legal enforcement and security is concerned. As we have learned from the Prime Minister's announcement yesterday, he has appointed a number of high-ranking officials, bureaucrats, to take charge of different aspects of the whole operation to deal with the coronavirus. And General Pornpipat is in charge of legal enforcement and security. And today, he made it very clear in his press conference that there's no choice but to sooner or later, some directive has to come out and to enforce the stay-at-home measure. But for the time being, he is appealing to people, to owners of business establishments, government agencies, and to start introducing measures that would persuade or to convince people to stay at home and work from home. I think that, and he emphasized that this is the only way that Thailand can beat this deadly virus.
Yes. As for now, he seems providing us with a choice, either staying home or to face national lockdown. So he said, actually, we don't need to go into lockdown if we stay home and practice social distancing. The message is quite clear.
That's very clear. His appeal today was very strong in tone and the language he used. I mean, I can say that probably he was the one who has come up with the toughest statement on the need for people to stay home.
Yes.
He said, for the time being, there's no need for curfew because there's no need for lockdown. If Thai people can show to the world that Thai people can discipline themselves and go out only when they need to go out on essential business trip. But if they don't have to go out, stay home and be safe and not to spread and to contract the disease here.
Yes. It seems this weekend must be quite decisive for him as well in order to see how Thai people will change practice, especially from government agency, private organization, how they will change work schedule and try to reduce the number of employees who have to commute each day to work.
Yeah, when he was asked how he is going to enforce the directive, the stay-at-home directive, he was evasive. But he said that I shouldn't have to tell the government agencies or owners of business establishments what to do. So, but our guess is that sooner or later, this kind of directive will need to be conveyed officially to all the business establishments and government agencies so that it will be strictly enforced.
Yes, so it's clear that we are all in this together. And toward the end, he also supports Thai people to be an example, to be like role model for other countries around the world. And in a way, he would like to say that Thai people can do it. He said Thai people.
We know that is part wishful thinking, hoping that Thai people would comply with the directive to stay home. But as we can see in the past 1 week, despite the appeal from the government for people to stay home and not to go out, but we still see a lot of people out there on the street. We can't blame them because the people don't have choice. As the General Pampipat said today, that as long as employers still require people to show up physically to work, then employees, people like most people in the daily workers and personnel have no choice but have to show up to work for work. They cannot stay home if their bosses do not say so.
That's right. And he said Thai people can set example for the rest of the world by voluntarily staying at home without needing a lockdown. So for now, we still have options, either to stay home and not facing a total lockdown. But if we do not stay home, perhaps in the near future, we will face a total, complete lockdown. That's especially a clear message from Royal Army Commander-in-Chief.
Yeah, he said very specifically that Thai people should start showing that they can comply with the directive to stay home starting this weekend. That means that Saturday and Sunday, the streets should be empty and people should go out only to buy additional supplies. And starting Monday, that means a few days from now, we expect to see the streets void of people, but we still have no ideas whether or not the directive will be strictly followed by the business establishments or government agencies.
Yes, and with life in the state of emergency, it's clear that there would be 357 checkpoints around the country, which has already set up. So it means that if people would like to spend time in the public, they may face fines or they may face punishment because security personnel are scattering around the country. That's according to the Army Chief, according to the Commander of the Royal Thai Armed Forces.
And this is what will happen if you are found traveling on non-essential trip. because there are now, as Kun Thai just mentioned, there are now 357 checkpoints around the country, 5 in Bangkok, and a few more will be added to the checkpoints tonight. So if you are found traveling, say, in a vehicle, of course you will be stopped and you'll be asked to justify why you are on the streets at this time of the day or the night. And then you have to make sure that you wear a mask. And then you will have your temperature taken. And then, and if you travel in a public transport, you have to make sure that there's space between you and other passengers. Otherwise, the authorities at the checkpoint will make sure that something has to be done and to make sure that happens. And if you have fever, then that means the end of your trip. You'll be taken for a medical checkup and you cannot continue the trip. So the basic idea is to discourage people, to make it very difficult for people to travel. And the whole objective is to lead this to the efforts into trying to flatten the curve of the rising number of infection cases.
Yes, you're right, Kun Thepchai, especially today with the report of the new cases of infection is 111 new cases reported today. And the number of cases related to boxing stadium is 160. The number of infection cases in relation to boxing stadium on the 6th of March seems increasing, and that is quite alarming for the medical personnel as well.
This has been the big puzzle for weeks now, because there was an order for the boxing match at the Lumpini Stadium in Bangkok to be cancelled. The match was scheduled for March the 6th, right? But the match went ahead despite the order to have it stopped. Of course, the Lumpini Stadium is known as the business arm of the Royal Thai Army. So the blame, of course, rests with the Army, the Royal Thai Army for allowing this boxing match to take place. And nobody expected that this place would turn out to be the source of super spreading of the disease. 50 boxing fans and people related to boxing gyms taking part in that night tournament were diagnosed as being infected. So, and of course, these people have spread the virus to other people. As Kunatha mentioned, that as many as 150 people now were infected from contacts related to the people at the boxing match.
Yes, and in order to sort out what's really happening on the day, on the 6th of March, this morning there was teleconference meeting between the Army Chief Commander General Apirat Kongsompong and other Army officers and Army Chief in order to form a committee to try to investigate what went on and lead to the setup, lead to the organizing of the boxing match on that particular day.
This is a big embarrassment for the Royal Thai Army, which has been trying to portray itself as at the forefront in the fight against the coronavirus. A reporter asked the Supreme Commander, General Patipat, today about this controversial boxing match, but he was evasive and he didn't answer the question directly. But he only said that action will be taken. But he didn't say what kind of action or what kind of punishment would be meted out if there are people finally found to be responsible for organizing the match.
Yes, the trace of infection is very significant because it originated from a boxing fan who attended the boxing match that day, and he came from Italy, in which the type of virus perhaps quite different from other type of virus which is spreading around the country. In Thailand nowadays, that's why it has become main cause of infection to 160 more cases. And another issue, Kun Thepchai, is about what we have to consume. I mean, mostly it's ordinary food for Thai people, but we have to be careful with it right now. It's about egg. Perhaps we can face shortage in the near future.
That's right. I mean, for weeks we have been talking a lot about shortage of surgical masks, right? People have to queue up for hours just to get a couple of face masks. But all of a sudden, there is a shortage of chicken eggs. I mean, there's something so unexpected. But of course, if you look at the way that people have been rushing to supermarkets or grocery stores in the past few days, in anticipation of an imposition of a curfew, then it's quite understandable why a lot of essential items are running short in the supermarket. And eggs are among these items that have been sold out like hotcakes. And so for the past 2 days, we have seen complaints about difficulties in finding eggs. And if we can find them, the prices are quite exorbitant. So the Commerce Ministry today has to intervene and to put a ban on export of chicken eggs for a week.
That's right. Kun Jurin has pointed out each day Thai people consume eggs for 40 million eggs a day. So you can see that it's very normal food for Thai people. So right now they have to have extra preventive measure of shortage of eggs. 7-day ban of export of eggs. That's the immediate measure for now. And try to take a look closely whether the eggs is overpriced because it's essential food for Thai people.
You know, the problem of hoarding and profiteering was singled out by the Prime Minister in his address yesterday. And he said he would employ the full force of law to deal with this problem. As we know that hoarding and profiteering is something common in time of crisis. But this time around, I mean, this kind of practice is something that is not acceptable to the people because the whole country is suffering from this pandemic. And then there are pockets of people who take advantage of the situation and try to make money out of the sufferings of the people. And the Supreme Commander, General Mantra, today also emphasized that the army and the law enforcement officers will deal very tough and will deal very sternly with anyone caught hoarding and profiteering at this moment.
Yes, so that's about daily consumption for Thai people, which is very essential, and we need to share this essential food among Thai people at this very crucial time rather than trying to stop piling, because right now the demand for eggs is 2 to 3 times higher than before.